for Panthers fans only is a sports podcast intended for mature audiences and contains profanity as well as extremely spirited conversation. What you see and hear are the sole opinions and depictions of each individual, not at all inclusive of the entire cast or any guests associated with our show. Thanks for tuning in, and always remember to stand on business.
Troubles are few, may come around to see my point of view. What's price the crown of a king on his throne? When you chained
Turn my shit up so I can rock out a little bit.
I'm as real as they come. I follow the rules. I'm still in the hood, but I probably should move. Made enough money, I don't fuck around. I just felt they needed me, so I
Welcome to Fort Panthers fans only. Hey, I don't know how the volume is sounding. We got a lot of complaints last week now. What Terrence and Tavian told me to tell y'all in the YouTube comments, I'm not going to repeat. I'm not going to repeat it, but I think we should be back. I think we should be good this week. What's happening? A lot of new viewers, I'm assuming. A lot of new viewers this week, I'm assuming. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all for being here.
What did I tell you to tell them?
Just shut the fuck up. and to pay you if they wanted to make adjustments.
No, I said that about me replying to comments.
Oh, okay, my bad. That was Tavian. My bad.
Because I do agree with them that the volume was fucked off last week.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that bad.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Y'all just need, y'all just need, because I'm telling you, maybe, I'm not going to say that's all a lie. Maybe I was wrong. Why the fuck would we lie?
Or maybe y'all just need to upgrade y'all's devices. Brand new.
Tell them what number it is.
16 Pro Max. Newest you can get. I get some good money for that.
Yeah, you can take it from him. You can take it off of him if you want.
That's gonna cost a life.
Welcome to Fort Panthers fans only, man. What's happening? What's happening? I think we're like 80, 70 something days away.
Something like that.
Now we just out. Stop playing.
Yeah, I'm itching. I need that shit to come
Me too.
back, come back.
Me too. I hate bringing this up every single week, but I just despise the fact that I can't go to camp. I despise it.
I also have a feeling that I don't think that they're gonna close it for 2 years, bro.
I think they are. Have you seen the construction around the stadium?
I haven't, but I just think that it's much like just as much shit as they're catching this off season. I just don't know if they would do it 2 years in a row. It just wouldn't seem smart on their part.
I mean, you would hope not. Well, I personally would hope not.
Well, I guess like what money do they get? The tickets.
They don't. I mean, they don't. Yeah, I'm gonna say they don't get no money unless it's from merch.
Yeah.
But you would assume that the money that they make off of merch during training camp is substantial enough for them to want to expedite the process. I mean, because let's have a real conversation. How much do y'all think on average in 2.5 weeks of training camp, how much do y'all think they bring in from merch? And it's not costing them shit, because the shit is already produced, right? And they have the licensing and the agreements with the manufacturers and all of that. So it doesn't cost them anything at all, besides the people that, run the store.
I can't envision it being much, genuinely, because the group of people that go to attend training camp is so niche. And it's such a small group, because even when we go out there on the busier days, it can't be more than 150, 200 people.
I mean, that's just a blaze.
Yeah.
That is a blaze, nigga.
When we go out there?
Yeah, that is a blaze.
No.
100 or 200 people?
Yeah, that's a blaze.
The stadium does not be that full.
Nigga, that is Tavian. That is a blaze, bro. I'm not.
When
gonna
we
lie.
were at Spartanburg, yes, but I felt like when we went to this past training camp in
That's
Carolina,
because
it
we
wasn't
were
like
in the
that.
We were in the
VIP side.
VIP, yeah,
Because
that-
I,
nigga,
I
that was
forgot
a
about
hundred.
that too.
Yeah,
Because we
okay.
wasn't even on the
in
other
general
side.
admission.
Okay, yeah. So I wasn't taking into account the people on the other side. I was only counting
That's
the people
just
on our
family.
side.
But
That's family and PSL owners.
I do agree that I don't think that it will be a crazy amount, not enough for them to be like, oh, we're gonna have training camp just to generate some revenue for our merch versus trying to complete the
whole
The whole renovation project.
I don't think it brings in that kind of money. But I mean, and also, do you know if
What
this
was
is
it,
going
like
to be a
250,000, or is that a stretch in that 2.5 week span? 250,000. That might be hefty.
Yeah, I can't.
That
'cause,
might be
like,
hefty.
well, let's see. Like, what is the merch they're selling? Like, a lot of like little rep
Footballs,
helmets, a lot of
jerseys.
footballs.
No, they sell. Yeah, they sell. They have a
Jerseys.
good amount of shit. They have
But
a
how
good
many
amount of
people are
stuff.
going and buying a jersey, right? Like, I
That's
feel
a
like
good
most
point.
people already have their jerseys or buy their jerseys elsewhere, and then they just buy like. I feel like most of their sales would come off of like the footballs,
yeah?
Yeah.
or, like little things
Yeah.
for kids, like
Pins, the
Right.
Sharpies.
right, exactly.
So
Shirts,
250,000
towels.
might be. I mean, it might not. It might not be enough for them to move off that. Y'all might be.
Yeah.
right. It might
Do
not be
you
that
do
much.
you know what is this going to be an indoor facility?
Yes, part of
'Cause
it is going to be indoor. Yes, part
We
of it
were
is gonna
having
be
this
indoor.
conversation. Well, it was me, you, and Gibson and or Carter, and we were saying like, at least not that I know of, that a lot of teams that have their indoor practice facilities, I don't see like a lot of media there, as far as like fans. I mean, so
Oh,
is that
yeah.
still going to be?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they're using that. Like, I think that primarily they're using the indoor for like rain days and shit like that. Like, 'cause you know they already had the bubble, but this is like going to be like an all-encompassing like field house type. Like, so I think they may be potentially be moving like the weight room and like stuff like all of that. I think this is like a brand new
Facility.
like, facility in
But
totality.
for the most part, with training camp and stuff, is still going to be outside unless.
yes, yes.
Yeah, I would
Based
assume
on some
so.
of the pictures that I saw, and I don't know if you've seen them, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to pull them up.
I don't think I've seen them.
But it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
I'm sure it will be. I mean, it's going to be a cutting edge, state of the art facility. You know.
It's crazy they're doing that in the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's about time though. The stadium. I mean, it's what the Panthers have been around for almost 40 years now.
Since '95.
Yeah, so we're getting
Oh, nigga, not almost 40.
30.
There you go.
So,
little
but
over
by the
30.
time this finishes, it'll be almost 40. By the time all these projects are finished, so that's about the window that you want. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Let me see if I can get these pictures.
When is the
These are
stadium
some of-
supposed to
this
be
is some of
finished?
them.
When did they say that again?
I thought it was like
2028 or 2029, something like that.
yeah, it was
So
like
you
a
can
4
click,
or 5 year
these are
project.
some of the what you calls. Like you can kind of click through and see.
Are we gonna be able to
But it
link this
doesn't-
to the video so that the viewers can see as well?
Yes. Yeah. So those are some of them, but those aren't all of them, and I don't know how reputable those are. But those are the pictures that I've seen.
Are those
The
like
time or two.
renderings? Are those AI renderings? Or
Yeah,
are these?
yeah. But they were put out by the Panthers as well as like other like reputable news sources.
Mhm.
But also we know that like shit can change. When
I know it ain't gonna look like that. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I already seen like the realistic
No,
ones. But
yeah, no. I don't think that this is gonna look like it. I don't think this is gonna be it.
But I
it-
mean, yeah, it looks
Yeah, I don't
nice.
think it's gonna be
Yeah, having an indoor facility makes sense. Early plug for the Cowboys, but we had to move OTAs in the other day
What?
because the wind was so fucking crazy. They couldn't even hold equipment down. So it makes sense to have those two facilities so you can escape shit like that when the time arises.
Yeah, but the thing about that is, if you have the indoor facility, I need to be able to go indoors too.
And that's where we were having. That's where our conversation came
Yeah.
from. It's like, are they still going to allow people to go inside the same way they do outside?
I doubt it.
And I can't see them letting
Because
people
they're-
go inside the way they let them go
Well,
outside.
my thing is, if it's not thundering and lightning, if it's raining, stay your ass outside.
No.
Yes, bro.
Unfortunately,
Yes,
Yeah.
you don't play.
Yeah.
You don't play in a dome anyway.
No, yeah, you got to stay outside.
Yeah.
If it's
No.
just raining, yes.
During
Yeah.
training camp,
Yes.
yeah, if it's just a little, but if it's fucking pouring down without thunder and
Stay
lightning,
your ass outside.
no, because then that's how niggas start.
Stay your
tearing
ass
shit.
outside, chop your feet, and slide
Yeah.
in that mud.
Yeah,
They
Let's
was
go.
doing it the other day.
yeah, but yeah.
Get on
it
our
was just a
remember
little-
the get
it
on our
was a
remember the
little-
Titans.
Yeah, no, because
Yes,
I don't
bro.
need nobody tearing shit.
I mean,
And
if
our
you
receiving core already acting kind, We're gonna talk about it.
Don't
but
do
I'm
it
gonna
again
chill.
now.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm way sharper today. Way sharper today. That was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. On the playback, that was nuts. That was nuts.
Bro, I think it sounded worse in this room.
In person, yeah.
Yeah, it sounded worse here than it did.
Yeah. And
That
then you
was
just see
fucking
this.
horrible.
Then you just see his face, his cheesing ass grin. Look at me.
Bro,
That shit was
that's
bad.
what got me. Like that was funny, but him laughing
was
at
him.
you
Yeah.
took me out. And I started laughing at him, and he started
And I
laughing
just
at
started
me,
laughing at
him,
both of
and
y'all
then you
'cause-
started laughing at both
Yeah,
of
because
us.
I just knew I had fucked it off.
my
And I
God.
thought y'all were gonna let me get it off, but he just wouldn't let me live. He wouldn't
Bro,
let me
I
have
think
it.
Tavian said something about it first.
Yeah, he did. Because he be wanting to be on my ass
And
because I be
then-
telling him to clear his throat. Bro.
And
That's
then
what it be.
I had to think about what you said. And I was like, what the fuck?
Bro, because when he said it, I was like, Jesus. I was like, what was that?
But no, man. So as I mentioned before, I'm sure we have a lot of new visitors. So first and foremost, I'm your host JJ.
I'm your co-host, Terrence.
I'm your producer, Tavian.
This is for Panthers fans only, the For Panthers fans only podcast. If you are new here, thank you so much for being here. Extremely grateful to have you all. A lot of new subscribers this past week, as well as just a lot of new interactions across all platforms. Absolutely. That shit was loud as hell, but we'll take it. Yeah.
It all.
That shit is extremely loud, but no worries at all. He wanted to press the button. He wanted to press it again. But yeah, so shout out to all of y'all. If you haven't already, which I believe a lot of you guys have, a lot of the new people, but if you haven't already, take this time right now to connect with us on social media at For Panthers Fans Only on Instagram and TikTok, at FPFO_podcast on X. You can also visit our home base at FPFO. No, that's not right. At ForPanthersFansOnly.com.
So much for being sharp.
Yeah, well, you try and do this shit every single week, bro. Just give me some leeway if you don't mind. ForPanthersFansOnly.com. If you wear a medium, we have 3 of these exclusive Carolina Reaper t-shirts remaining. My deepest apologies to the person that bought the last XL, that we thought bought the last XL. Unfortunately, it was my mistake. I fucked up. I didn't have the inventory count correct, and we had to cancel your order. So apologies, but maybe I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Buy one of the white ones when it drops. When the white ones.
You know what their name was?
I don't, but I can pull it up.
Yeah, I need to make sure it wasn't.
It may have been. I mean, listen, it's not personal.
I sent the link to my barber. Now I have to go find a new barber if we don't cancel this order.
Or you should have sent it earlier. Thomas King.
Nah, we all right.
Customer was Nora King. I don't even know if we need to. I don't even know if we can say that, if I can disclose that information. But, I mean, we're here now. Yeah, Nora King and Thomas King. And I don't believe it was your barber. I think it was somebody. I think Dunk retweeted one of the things that we did last week. And I believe that this customer found us through, that retweet or whatever the case may be. So I don't think it was your barber. So I think we're good on that front.
We good.
Yeah. I mean, never mind.
Yeah, I don't see too much of them nowadays.
Fair enough. But yeah, shout out to you. What were you about to say?
I was just gonna say we know.
But yeah, man. Again, appreciate all of you guys. Let's give this update. This is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. So last week, I mean, y'all know if you're a returning visitor, we've talked about the giveaway, the FPFO road game experience that we're putting on. If you're not familiar with what that is and you're watching on YouTube or listening on DSPs, which you guys can connect with us on all DSPs as well, For Panthers Fans Only. You can find us there. And if you're wanting to watch on YouTube and you're listening on the DSP right now, you can find us at the G2S Network. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell notification on. Now, our FPFO road game experience. Last week when we were recorded, there was 162 entries. This week we're at 1,069. So the shit is starting to yeah. It's starting to pick up. This is kind of what we had envisioned. Honestly, we were very, very confused on why I only had 162 for like 2 months. But outside of that, extremely happy with the direction that the giveaway is going. So now a lot of people that entered, chances are very slim at this point. Also, I'm going to go ahead and say this too. Because we've had a lot of internal conversations and a lot of internal discussions or whatever the case may be. We have family members entering, all different kind of things. Unfortunately, if one of our family members wins, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm not going to lie, bro, because it's just because we want to be fair to you guys, right? Obviously, we want to be fair to you guys, but unfortunately, I'm just not going to tell my personal family members as well as ask our team to tell their family not to enter. When it's like we're literally offering an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I've never been to Phoenix. I know a lot of family members that have never been to Phoenix and want to go. So I'm just not gonna cut it off. Now, that being said, if they so happen to be selected out of over 1,000 entries, I mean, what can I do about that? What? Realistically.
We know you have a tendency sometimes with some situations to, some would say, feels like it's rigged.
How so?
In certain situations, just maybe not necessarily with the podcast, but outside of the podcast and other things. So I give y'all, and I'm sure Terrence will do the same. We'll give y'all our guarantee that we'll watch the Crooked Commissioner, as we like to call him, and we'll make sure that he doesn't. Commissioner, yeah. And we'll make sure that he doesn't rig this. Now there are over 1,000 entries. And we are going to do our best. Well, we are going to have a fair drawing system, and so whoever wins, wins. And may the best luck, for those who are already in. Shout out to y'all for being with us from the beginning. Unfortunately, y'all got some competition, just like taxes. Everybody waited till the last minute.
Yeah, very true. Wow. Okay. Well, we might have to make some adjustments on that.
I mean, why? Everybody loves waiting until that deadline to do their taxes. Do they not? A lot of people do.
Shit, I don't. Matter of fact, let me not see that. Yeah. That would. Oh, chill, nigga. Relax. Just let it. Let me just relax, nigga. Just relax, nigga. Want FPFO to keep going, right? Everybody just calm down. Everybody just chill. So we made some adjustments off of that.
Fair and honorable.
So we made some not necessarily adjustments, but we did some things. Had a couple of different conversations. So the way that we're going to go about it, July 14th, we're selecting 10 finalists. July 14th, there will be 10 finalists. So if you're just subscribed and you're just following just because, you wanted to enter, we're going to weed all of y'all out. Like, if you're not here off the love and support, unfortunately, July 14th, we're going to have 10 finalists. And then on the 21st, we're going to put the 10 finalist names on a wheel like we've done multiple times in the past. We're going to let that bitch spin for 45 seconds, and whoever it lands on, that'll be the lucky winner to attend week 2 with the For Panthers Fans Only podcast crew. So that's how that'll go. Again, extremely grateful for all of the new people that are currently here, and just, we had a phenomenal week. FPFO had a phenomenal week this past week, so just extremely grateful for that and excited for the opportunity to connect with you guys. Outside of it being virtually and meeting, a couple of different supporters in person and just having a great weekend together. So really, really excited about that. This is around the time of the year where, like Tavian mentioned a second ago, where I personally just get the itching. Because football is very, very close, but it's very, very far away. But these type things are going to come up very, very quickly. So yeah, I'm excited. We actually, this past week, we did a lot of work taking care of week 1 and 2. We're on the road. FPFO will be in the building in attendance. So if y'all see us outside, say what's up. We'll have a drink together, whatever the case may be. But it's almost here. And yeah, that's all I have for our plugs, gentlemen. How's everybody doing? How's you guys' weekend? Like, give the people an update.
Extremely tired. I I knew I was gonna have a long weekend before I got here, just because shit be happening in the morning times, and I don't have time to rest. So I'm tired. I'm ready for it to be over. But yeah, I mean, had fun this weekend. Honda fucked off my car, so shout out to them.
Wait, what happened?
Well, I already had like a little crack in my windshield. Like, it wasn't big at all, but I mean,
That's from when you had like damn near first got it too, huh?
yeah, not too long after I first got it. So I knew at some point it was gonna have to be replaced. But I go and pick up my car, and that's why I don't like them fucking washing my car. Like, every time, I always tell them don't wash my car when I drop it off at the dealership. But I forgot to tell them this time because it was so early in the morning. I pick it up, and like the fucking crack is like spread almost all across the windshield. And I'm just like, bro. And I know somebody back there trying to wash it, probably hit it with a brush, and it just spread.
So you didn't tell them that they did it?
I mean, my thing is, it's like, what are they going to do?
Replace your windshield?
No, it was already cracked, so I was going to have to get it replaced anyway. So they're not going to be like, oh, I mean, you cracked it, but now you want us to replace it because it spread? Like, I just feel like it don't work like that.
Did I bring it into y'all to wash my bitch-ass car? Or did y'all take it amongst yourselves to wash my shit?
I mean, very true, but no. More of the story, I didn't say anything to him. I said some things about him.
I'm sure they weren't too pleasant.
I had a lot of shit going in my mind that I was thinking.
Did you? Never mind. I'm not even going to ask you to incriminate yourself in that way.
Just know I had a good conversation with God at church this morning.
Okay, good. As long as you ask for forgiveness and you try your best every single day to do better, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, pretty much. Other than that, weekend was good.
Good. Besides Sean fucking our money off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but that started, our money getting fucked off started in the week with Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, shout out Tyrese Halliburton. Actually, yeah, we did a lot of, he gets so upset. Why is he so angry? Just relax, bro. I'm sorry,
because you
bro.
keep doing it. Like,
I'm
you
sorry.
get in the conversation, you start going like this, that, here, and that. This all I'm hearing, right?
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. My producer behind the camera is on my ass. I'm sorry. Yeah, we lost a lot of bets this week by one leg. It started with my juice ticket. I'll just say that. Started with my juice ticket. I missed by one leg because Pascal Siakam just decides not to make another three. It only takes 2 shots. Cool, no problem. Same game, Halliburton fucks us off. What was it, 8 assists? Maybe that was on us. Maybe we got too greedy.
No, bro. He should get that when you only score fucking 17 points. You should get 8 assists.
I agree. Continued on to what, Saturday afternoon?
Baseball.
UNC.
They just lost again, by the way.
They lost?
Yep. They was up 3-1, just lost 4-3 to Arizona. So now Arizona is going to Omaha.
Wow.
Just can't get right. And Duke is down 10-8 to Murray State right now.
And it's 1-1. That's 1-1 too, right? But
Well,
Duke,
it was 1-0. Duke has the
they have the advantage right now?
yeah.
But they won on Saturday?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, by the time y'all hear this, everything will be solidified, so the conversation will be kind of out of date. But, I mean, we're in the moment right now. We're recording on Sunday, just for anybody that is confused on that. So then it continues to Saturday night. I'm not going to lie, beautiful ticket. Kevin Holland, money line. Night starts off great. Choke that nigga the fuck out. Quickly. And then I just decide, no, this fight between Sean and what's the nigga's name?
Rob.
Is not going the distance. So 2 greens, but then Sean just gets whooped on. And to be honest, I blame you, because that's your boy. That's your nigga.
What?
That's your nigga. There's no Terrence calls me. He like, bro, he ain't been smoking weed no more. He ain't dyeing his hair. He done put on body. Cool. So if the bitch is sitting at plus 230, then it should be free fucking money. Right or wrong.
Should have been.
And another way I was thinking about it is Vegas will want a trilogy. Like, it just makes sense.
Yes.
But then he just gets in there, and I mean, he gotta go to Russia, bro. Because if you're not gonna learn how to, if you're not gonna learn how to get a ground game or like, I mean, you're just cooked when it comes to them other niggas because he wasn't really letting his hands go because he was too scared trying to defend the takedown. He was thinking that he was going to shoot.
He did it. I will give him credit. He did a better job, though.
He did.
He did a better job with his takedown defense, but
it's like he focused way too much on that and forgot his offense.
Yeah. Yep. Had him backpedaling a lot. So all of that being said, the last 96 hours have been very, very tough on the sports book for me and Terrence specifically. So that's that.
Only a few more months until I get to stain them.
Yeah, in person.
Yep.
In person.
A few more months.
Yeah, absolutely. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, man. Nothing fun and exciting to report this weekend. It's been very chill. Per usual, a lot of drinking. That's about it. I gotta
need
stop,
help,
man.
I was about to say, do y'all need help?
No, I wouldn't. Well, I'll say like this, right? I was like yesterday for the totality of the day, I drank like 4 drinks, so it really wasn't crazy, and they were all seltzers or light beer.
Okay.
So it was very like it's just the simple fact of like feels like that's sometimes all I do on the weekend. Got to get kind of got to get out of that. Maybe it's probably about time to go back up to the farm, do some work.
Okay.
So.
Cool. Okay. That's all you have for us?
Yeah, I said nothing exciting, man. Just chilling.
So on the weekends you become kind of an alcoholic. A little bit.
Some would say.
Oh, fair enough.
Or maybe I just like to enjoy myself. Maybe I'm not an alcoholic. I just like to social.
Social. Yeah.
It was a pool party. Context. There you go. There's the entertaining part. We were at a pool party.
Okay.
It was a fun little day.
Yeah, I'm drinking during the pool party.
Yeah,
too.
I mean.
And I'm doing a little bit more than 4.
Well,
because 4 to a nigga my size is not going to do much.
I mean, 4.
It's going to wet my whistle.
I was about to say 4 didn't even wet my whistle.
Oh, well, it's not even going to do that much. I need 7 just to get the day started. Yeah. Kind of like the Great Khali a little bit.
Arizona will be wicked.
Arizona is going to be wicked. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and give this update as well. If you come with us on Arizona, please don't judge us, man. Like when we take our trips, we like for it to be a judgment-free zone.
Cheap plug. If y'all really want to, just go watch the lifestyle videos. If you want to wet your whistle into the lifestyle, go ahead and watch the lifestyle videos. Y'all will get a great taste of how it is when we go out and what to expect.
Yes, 1,000%. If you're not familiar with what he's talking about, at the G2S Network on YouTube, you can click on playlist. Go to the playlist titled The Good Life. Go through those. As also, if you want to go to the game experience, what are they called? What is the title of that playlist? Do we know?
Road game experience or no?
No.
I don't know.
Road game vlog or game vlogs, whatever the case may be. Game day vlog. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You can go see our game day vlog as well that we did in Vegas. Judgment-free zone. If you don't want to partake and participate, we totally understand and respect.
Panthers game day vlogs.
Yes, there we go. Carolina Panthers game day vlogs. You can go on the playlist and check either one, or on the YouTube channel, check either one of those playlists out, and y'all can see kind of how we give it up when we get on the road. Judgment-free zone, just know we outside. And the way we outside doesn't necessarily mean you have to be outside the same way. But if you want the full FPFO road game experience, I highly, highly, highly encourage for you to get some Pedialyte, electrolyte, whatever you need in your body for the 96 hours before you get on that plane, because
hydrate. Also, what I wanted to mention something earlier, escaped my mind, but I do want to acknowledge the fact that the YouTube channel hit 1.5K.
Round of applause.
This past
round
week.
Of applause. Long time coming for sure.
Obviously, very excited about that. We are on our way to 5K now. I think that's our next milestone that we want to hit. We want to get to 5K. So y'all, if you're watching this video and you haven't yet done so, comment, subscribe, like the video, share it, tell a friend to tell a friend. Get the word out. We're trying to grow the family. We're trying to grow the FPFO fan base, the G2S fan base. So do all that good stuff, man. Come along this journey with us. We will be up to 5K here soon. And then from there, I'll be jumping into the camera like Speed did when he hit 4 mil.
Nah, on God. Shout out to y'all. Without y'all, this wouldn't be possible. I was looking. I think that maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. I don't know if I said this on the podcast or if I was just talking to you, but there were like, I was looking back at some of the work that we did, like prior during Clay Fire days, and I was like seeing full episodes with like 30 views. And I'm just like, nigga, if we didn't stop, then it's gonna be hard to stop now. But just know that shit is nasty. That it was nasty. It felt nasty. Looking back at it now, in the moment, it was just like, yeah, we know the goal that we have in mind, and it seems like we're on the right path to that. So shout out to you for remembering to bring that up, because I wasn't even going to say anything about it, but I think it's worth acknowledging just because, you know, they made it happen. So shout out to everybody that has subscribed to the YouTube channel. Yeah. What is y'all? So I was having a very, very interesting conversation, and yes, I'm sure y'all are here for Panthers football and coverage, and we understand that, but honestly, with all due respect, we do what we want. Like, this is our shit. We're independent, and we have no deals. So just everybody just chill and relax. Just fast forward or just come back later when you can fast forward if you're watching during the premiere. If you're watching during the premiere, shout out to you. Salute. What is y'all's relationship with money? I was having a very, very interesting conversation the other day. And this person asked me, I don't even remember how they worded the question, but I just started going on like one of those JJ rants and just talking about like money and just my relationship with money. So I wanted to ask y'all, because I didn't know if it was just similar or what, but I was like, at times I feel like I'm addicted to getting money, like as far as like the work that I do and just the amount of time that I spend doing work. And I was just like, I'm addicted to getting money. I don't know if I'm necessarily addicted to having money, but it's just the freedom of being able to maneuver the way I've seen other people maneuver. Not being able to do that and the fear of like going back to that is the reason why I do what I do at the volume that I do it. So I just wanted to see like kind of how y'all, like, what is y'all's relationship with money? Because I say all of that to say, I don't know if that's the best relationship to have with money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it's like a good thing that I say I'm addicted to getting money. And like niggas will say that shit and it'll be like, you know, niggas are addicted to, certain people are addicted to getting money so they can flex. Certain niggas are addicted to getting money so they can blow. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to know like how y'all personally felt about it. Because I thought that it was a very, very interesting conversation. And during my rant, like I was just like, that's interesting. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that I am the way that I am. Like saying that, I think that everybody has addictions and vices. But saying like I'm addicted to getting money, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to see kind of what y'all thought. Just very, very briefly, and then we'll jump into the show.
Yeah, I would say my relationship with money is interesting. It's funny that you bring that up because it's something that I've been thinking about a lot recently. So for me, like still even, well, I'm not going to say too much about that, but even doing what I do for work, even now, money still doesn't make sense to me in the sense of like it's not real. Like money has never felt real to me. It's never felt like something tangible. Like what money can get you, I feel like that stuff is real, but like I feel like money in and of itself, to me, the concept of it has never been real. Like the same way you can use credit and debit and vice versa, you know, it's like you have this pendulum for the value of what you, like your future. Like you're constantly weighing, the thing that has value is time, is what I'm saying here. The thing that to me has value is time. And so like even with credit and debit, you're constantly swinging back and forth between like your future earnings, your present earnings, you know, and this, it's like, it's just not real. Like it's constantly shifting and it's just a very weird concept to me. So it's never made sense. So it's
like a nonstop, I don't even know how to explain, but it's like a nonstop like battle almost.
Right.
Like
it's just
trying
constantly
to get
swinging.
more or trying to keep it.
Right.
Or like dealing with the losses of you potentially losing, or like something
or staking
random.
your future time for more time in the it's just like a weird like give and take with money. So it's just like, yeah, it's weird, man. My relationship with money, it doesn't. I would say best be able to describe it as it doesn't make sense.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Yeah, I don't know if I really know how to answer this question, but I mean, it doesn't. Like, I don't get my joy from it. I think I'm more so of a person that I get my joy from, like, quality time, like spending time with friends, family, you know, going to the gym and stuff like that. Like, I like having money because, like, you know, sometimes it makes those times when you hang out with people or around people, it makes them better when you're, like, doing stuff that requires to spend money. But personally, like, if I could, you know, still have those relationships, which I can, but I don't know. It just doesn't bring me a lot of joy. I mean, I like having it where I can, you know, obviously get stuff when I want it, but it's not really something that, like, makes me who I am. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what kind of relationship I have with it, honestly.
Fair enough. It's a very.
I think that's my problem.
Yeah,
though.
it's an interesting question.
Yeah, that's why I said it's like almost dangerous when I'm having this conversation and just listening to myself talk.
To getting money, but are you addicted to getting money, or are you addicted to the things that money can get you?
I think I'm addicted to. I think that I'm addicted to getting it.
And are you addicted, or like do you just enjoy it? As I feel like that's also a difference.
I think I'm addicted. I think I'm addicted because, like he just said, that he doesn't get joy from, like, his joy isn't attached to that, and that's what I was about to say. Like, that's probably the deeper, darker conversation that, like, I'm a lot happier and a lot more pleasant to be around when I have X amount of money at my disposal. And I don't know if it's because of the freedom aspect of it or, like, just knowing that I can. So I don't know. That's why I said this is going to be my new internal journey, I guess.
I have my answer because I just thought about it.
Go ahead.
I feel like money is a shackle. For me, my relationship with money it's a shackle. Like, I feel like it chains me down. And I know that sounds like crazy to say, right? But I feel like it chains me down because, like, my whole thing, when I turned 18, I got this tattoo. Freedom. Like, freedom has always been a part of my being. Like, I want to be as free as possible. Like, I hate rules. I hate, like, structure. Like, I just want to be able to do what I want, when I want, how I want. It's just always how I've been. And I feel like money is one of those things where if you don't have it, you can't do what you want to do. You can't move how you want to move. You have to hit a certain threshold to do and act and be a certain way in this world. And if you're not at that threshold, then it becomes a shackle. It becomes something that holds you down. So for me, it's a shackle.
Fair. Interesting. Didn't want to necessarily damper the mood, but I just wanted to just have a moment of self-awareness more so than anything else. Because I do think that's a problem. I don't know. That's a good question about, am I addicted to the getting money aspect of it, or like just what I'm able to get with it? Like the way I'm able to, it's more so an addiction to the way I'm able to maneuver. But I also think that it's a problem that, like he said, his joy doesn't come from it. Like that is a problem that I have. I don't think it's my joy, because I get my joy from the Lord. I'll say that, right? I'll say that.
Good answer.
That's the confession that I'll make, right? But in that same breath, I think there's a significant difference between joy and you being happy on a day in, day out basis. And unfortunately, if I don't got X amount and I'm feeling trapped, I'm not too happy, and I'm not too pleasant to be around.
Yeah, but I don't know if that means you're, like, addicted to getting money. I think what you're describing is more like you enjoy improvement. Like, you enjoy bettering yourself. You enjoy upgrading. And I don't know if that's necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. If I want to walk into somewhere and drop $1,500, then that's just how I feel like I want to do. And not give a fuck.
Yeah.
But maybe, like I said, that's a me problem. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I guess we'll talk about Panthers football now. This is how we'll start.
Are we playing the song?
I honestly haven't heard it yet.
You about to hear it. Don't you worry. Glow, what up? XL, what up?
Yeah, I love me a trapping ass, dark skin, country ass, got it out the mud, 610 thug ass, talk real slick, big gun ass, pick a bitch up when we fuck, strong ass nigga, making them play, stacking that pay,
slide,
time, 3-pointers on the chain, fresh new chase,
I don't like his energy.
switch lanes ass nigga,
I don't like his energy.
or lame ass
I fuck with Glow.
never switched up on the gang ass nigga, street cred good, always ass nigga, let me
It's gonna be a
put
smash.
face ass nigga, I ain't
It's a
in your
TikTok. It's
beats and
definitely
you
a
ain't in
TikTok.
mine, nigga.
TikTok song.
Yeah, we both outside. That's my type of nigga.
World premiere. No.
That's my type of nigga.
Try to tell people, sexy can't fuck with glow.
I be in my section. He be in heels. We can go bottle for bottle in this bitch. Strip club stunt. I'm a stunt.
Sexy is a
We can
fucking
go
CIA
dollar for dollar
plant.
in this bitch.
Fuck Sexy.
Here he goes.
She's a plant, bro. She's a CIA plant, bro. It's documented. But don't shoot the messenger.
Where is it documented?
Don't shoot the messenger.
Can I see those documents?
Yes, I will send them to you later for sure. I absolutely will. But yeah, what broke the internet? What broke Carolina Panthers Twitter/internet this week? And I just can't, I'm dying to hear this nigga. I'm dying to hear this nigga and what he has to say. Shout out XL, man. Off the field getting his chocho. Didn't miss a day of voluntary training camp or mini camp, whatever the fuck they want. OTAs. Voluntary OTAs. Because I was on Jimmy Horn's act. Ooh, boy.
For no reason.
Shit. Yeah. You're right. Okay. But it was because the way Vastai presented it, it sounded like he was MIA completely. Not as if like he was off to the side or he was like, no. It didn't say anything about that. They act like he wasn't outside at all. So yeah, that's a problem to me when you're a rookie and I don't see you. But besides that, XAVIER Legette, man. Outside getting his chocho. I'm not gonna lie, he's lining up to probably go for 1250 this year. 1250 with 10 touchdowns. That's how I'm feeling. He's outside, bro. It's okay.
And I don't know why you want me to. It's like you want to push me into the situation of trying to slander his name.
No, it's
when
not.
I will, I'm gonna tell you when I will slander his name. If his production on the field doesn't match his production off the field, that's when I'm gonna be mad because you in all of this shit. You at the Canes game, you riding horses, you doing food tasting, in music videos. Cool.
And cover arts.
Yeah, all of that.
He's
cool.
on the cover art too.
Cool.
Want to see it?
No, I don't give a fuck about it. Cool.
No,
I
I'm
probably already seen it.
Well, I'm gonna make sure that you see it again.
Well, anyway, you're in all of this stuff. I'm happy for you. Young black man, get your money, get paid. Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah,
That's
hard.
cool. That's
It's
fine. But I just want you to be taking the job that you're getting the biggest paycheck from just as serious. And obviously, we don't know if he is or if he isn't.
Well, every report I've seen, it says that he's one of the hardest working players on the team.
Well, that's cool. We don't know if he is or if he isn't. I'm just saying I hope that production on the field matches what's going on in the offseason. That's it. That's all. Because if it doesn't, then that's when I'll have a problem because then I might be able to come back to, you was making a music video with Glorilla. Maybe you should have been on a drug machine. You was out there at the Kentucky Derby. Maybe you should have been at the practice facility getting some extra work in. You was at the Canes game. Maybe you should have been home watching film. Like, so that's what I'm going to, be able to bring this back to. So I'm just hoping that it matches up. That's all.
1250. 1250. What did you have?
We may have to get that album cover printed out and put on the wall right behind Terrence.
Yeah. We'll clear. Yeah, right above his head.
Yeah.
We'll go to one of the big plant shops.
Can we put the drop pass in the Eagles game up there too?
Why? Why would we do that?
Why would we not?
That's
if
the
we're
past.
We're just putting shit. That's the past.
No, this is the present. This is very much the present.
Right now.
This is right now.
If we're just putting stuff up there on the wall for shits and giggles, then why not put that up there? Let's paint the whole fucking picture.
That's fine, bro. I understand. At some point or another, you just have to give it a break.
You
just have to give it a break.
Yeah, what a break. I feel like what I said wasn't like
the drop pass. Bad. The drop pass. Wow. Okay, he dropped it. Did I want to harm him? Did I want harm done to him in that moment?
He dropped multiple. That's the problem.
He dropped 6 or
8.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Which was more than almost anybody in the league. It was up there for sure.
He's a rookie.
Yeah, okay, I don't care. Unfortunately, I don't care. No other rookie was dropping passes like that.
Oh, okay, fair enough. What did you have to add? It sounded like you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think off the field, this offseason's been a home run for XL. as far
Major.
as promotions and
Major.
getting his name out, building the brand.
Superstar
I mean,
pending.
I was about to say he's done the legwork off the field. Now let's just hope that he actually has been doing his real job and the reason that he even has these opportunities. His only job is to catch the fucking ball this year. Get open and catch the fucking ball. Now, if he can't do that, then all this shit that you did in the offseason, I will also be right there with Terrence and I'll drag his name through the fucking mud. Because you want to do all this fucking around off the
There'll
field.
be no XL
which is
slander
cool.
on this podcast.
Okay, cool.
Yes, it will.
You want to do all this fucking around off the field and building your brand and cool. I support it. I love that. Like, I love athletes going to get theirs. And actually, like, I really do like XL. Like, as a person, like, bro, it seems super fun.
And he's from the Carolinas.
Carolina's boy. Like, yeah, like, XL's a cool-ass dude. But you're here to play football, and you're here to catch passes. And last time I saw you on the field, you fucked off more than one time. So I can only like you to it, so much. You gotta produce on the field because that's what you're here for. So we'll see. But I do, I fought with Glow. So, I would have if she would have hit me up, said let's be on the cover. I said hell yeah. And then made a song like that. Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh God.
She just made a song about me, put me on the cover. That's how XL feeling.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I'm in the locker room and I have my Bluetooth speaker and I'm blaring.
So how did you feel about the video of Jimmy Horn resurfacing talking about Glow? Do you think that's going to be any tension?
Oh, if I'm Jimmy, I might tell him to shoot him.
Because I've been seeing rumors, and obviously I don't like to get into players' like personal life, especially like relationships, family, or whatever. But I've been
Unless
seeing
it's Bryce Young. And niggas got your whole outside.
yeah, but they made that shit public, like
Fair enough.
But
We leaked it and then we were like, let's
Yeah.
just chill. And then they made it public. So
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. Touche.
but I've been hearing rumors that they might have something going on.
Who?
XL and Glow.
And Glow?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't know if how you gonna be mad, nigga? You a jit, boy.
I'm just saying
Like,
that's what Jimmy Horn said. He said he gonna get it. I forgot exactly what.
Yeah,
he
he
said.
did. He did say that. But I mean, like that shit was a while ago, I think.
Yeah, he was in college though.
Yeah, so he was still at Colorado or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, I don't even know if he really felt like. Well, maybe he did feel like he was attainable at that time. But like, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there should be any tension. Like, I mean, she's a fucking superstar. So like, if you're XL, then you kind of got to deal with that. Like, you're gonna have to deal with that whether it's Jimmy or anybody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's number one.
Yeah,
number
but I
two,
ain't dealing with my teammate trying to slide on her because then we're just gonna be in there
I mean,
boxing.
well, yeah. So if you're trying to slide now, then that's disrespectful. So now, yeah, we are gonna box, and nobody even has to know. But yeah, I mean, yes, I feel that. But if
For
I'm
some reason,
XL,
I feel
I'm
like
not
Jimmy
tripping.
Horn got hands.
Probably.
Yeah, I just
but
don't know.
XL is
It's
a big ass nigga though too.
Nah, he is.
So, and he might have hands too.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, he probably
got
got
hands
hands.
because he's a country boy.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
country strength, nigga. That shit ain't nothing to play with.
I didn't say Jimmy would win, but I do feel like Jimmy would.
He might.
At that first start of the fight, he might. Boop, boop, boop.
He might get a couple in, but if XL land one of them bombs to his ass, he
it's a
might
wrap.
go night too, nigga. But I mean, this is all hypothetically speaking, of course, only for entertainment purposes, kind of like the WWE, right? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not feeling. If I'm either one of those guys in that situation, I'm not feeling any way at all.
Nah.
I don't even know if it has to be a conversation. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. If you said that you wanted to fuck one of my bitches, and you said that shit fucking 10 months ago, and it just so happens that I end up getting with, like, I'm just like, okay. I mean, never mind.
I don't blame you. That's why I'm fucking with her now. Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, like Tavian got a one or two on his roster that I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll try her too. No worries, no problem.
Shit happens.
Yeah, that's life. Would you feel a way about it?
No.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah. No, I don't think that I mean, but then again, like, that nigga Jimmy Horn is young. 21, 22. How old is he? 21, 22?
Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, he's probably around that age. I
And
just didn't
XL
know.
is too.
Yeah.
Well, XL is a bit older, I
I
think.
think
'cause
XL
he's
is like
still,
24, about to be
Okay.
25.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's young, man.
Yeah.
And egos do be involved, so it's worth the question. Since we're in the wide receiver room, let's go to this very, very quickly. Are we worried at all about some of the reports that we've seen in the injury room? Or excuse me, in the wide receiver room? We had Jimmy Horn pop up with the hamstring. Now, obviously, a lot of this stuff they claim is precautionary. But, like, they also be lying. Because they told us Tommy Tremble was going to be ready during X. I don't believe that. I think that Tommy Tremble, honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and go on record and make this a hot take. I think that Tommy Tremble is going to start the year off on IR. I think that Tommy Tremble, after this surgery, is going to miss at least 4 or 5 weeks. That's the first thing that I'll say. But you have Jimmy Horn with the hamstring injury, Jalen Coker. He was dealing with a soft tissue issue, soft tissue injury that he was dealing with last week as well. Hunter Renfrow, obviously we know about him and just what he had to go through last year. Now, obviously this year it hasn't been an issue. Nothing seems to have come up from it. But are we alarmed at all with knowing the fact that we have all of these weapons and all of these names on paper right now? Does it give you cause for pause with the injuries that seemingly continue to pop up in that room specifically up to this point? And not to mention, XL did have surgery this offseason as well. We know about the wrist. We know about the ankle. So cause for pause or is it too early to panic?
Yeah.
I think it's too early to panic because, it is the off season. So they have a while before week 1. It's good that these aren't like major injuries or anything like that. So, which hamstrings can be lingering, but I feel like it's also, when people are wondering why a player isn't at practice, like when they're reporting on that, I feel like the coaches have to give them something. So it's like, even if the injury isn't as serious as it is, they're not going to go into depth like, oh, he got a hamstring injury. But it could have just been like soreness. Like, it's still voluntary. So it's like, it could have been some kind of soreness, and he's just like, I don't want to push it today. And they're like, all right, cool. It's voluntary. It's up to you. But, you're still in the building. You're still getting work in. So I feel like it's not a reason to panic right now.
Yeah, with the way the injuries work in the NFL, in particular with the offseason, like anytime you have any little nick, knack, cut, bruise, scrape, whatever, you have to report it just based off the NFL guidelines. And because we're so early into the offseason programs, nothing is concerning right now. Now, if you tell me somebody comes out and they're at practice and they cut and fucking fall down and grab their knee and get carted off, carried off, now I'm concerned. But just guys missing a day here and there, a little bit of tightness, a little bit of soreness. If I'm alarmed about anything, I just kind of wonder, what were you doing in the off season? Because we're a little bit too early on, in my opinion, for you to be kind of getting hurt like that with soft tissue injuries.
And this is a problem, not to cut you off, because I'm going to, just to add context, but this is a problem. Coker, he had some issues last year with with similar soft tissue injuries. Mm-hmm. So that's why, for me personally, it's kind of like, is this a deeper, darker problem? Because, nigga, we're only going into year 2. And we got minimal production from you last year. It was gassed up because you were undrafted and you were getting starter reps at times. But, now that you were extremely productive in the limited reps that you got, we're thinking this of you, and we're thinking you can be this for us. And if you're not able to do that based on injuries, then it's going to be, very, very, very unfortunate. But continue.
Yeah, no, I definitely see where you're coming from. And because he isn't undrafted, even though he produced, he is still on that bubble, in that bubble range. He's not I'm not going to say he's on the bubble, about to get cut, but he could easily fall back into that if he fucks off this offseason. But, yeah, it's somewhat concerning, but not overly concerning because we're so far away from the start of the season at this point. And hopefully we can figure out a good way to deal with this excellent practice for this new strength and conditioning coach team that we brought in. Let's see what they can do. Can we get all these guys back on track and get them healthy again, please? Because we've seen how that's been a major issue for the Panthers in the past.
Yeah. Actually, kind of nasty the way it's been, but we have to approach the shit with the positive mindset, I guess. Also, shout out Coco Golf. I forgot to start that shit on the podcast too. Shout out Coco Golf. She a dog. She one of them ones.
Yeah.
She one of them ones.
I'm
not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I wish I would have put everything I had on the motherfucker. Once we started talking about it, and then I recognized who she was playing, I was just like, yeah, she's the number one in the world, but I done seen Coco walk into this shit and mop her up before.
Yeah, she was talking shit too.
Yeah, she always talks shit. What is her name? Azarenka? Is that the one or is this a different one? I don't know her name.
That was her that she played.
Yeah, she always be popping her shit. That's number one. She's way too emotional. She's way too emotional. Like, she's way too emotional, bro. Like, she be getting flustered. That's how, to me, that's how she lost the whole match. Because when she was up 4-1 in that first set and Coco walked her down, that was it. Her mind was shot, and she never settled back in, never shot back in. But shout out Coco. I think it was like she's the first American-born player to win the French Open since 2015, if I'm not mistaken. When Serena did it, yeah.
Demon.
Yeah, Coco's one of them ones. Coco is what I thought Naomi Osaka was.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Coco is what Naomi Osaka should have been.
She started, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, Naomi Osaka is over with for her. Coco is who I thought Naomi was going to be.
Never trust somebody who walks out their house with half their head done.
I mean, yeah.
And that's who Naomi decided to lay with. Ever told you that story, Terrence?
That's your boy.
So
that's why he on some hating shit. He about to tell you, but just know he on some hating
it
shit.
ain't even like that, bro.
He on some hating shit.
So before Cordae like pop for real, like you hear people's names and shit sometimes, but you don't really like ever look at the artist. You don't even know what they look like. You might have heard a song or two. This was like when YBN was like first kind of popping up onto the scene and shit. I was working at Frankie's at the time, go-kart track. And Cordae tries to come on. You know, you got to have a driver's license to drive the two-person.
I think I know part of the story.
Yeah, bro. Like, his dad, like, you know, I was like, because he looks young. Like, Cordae he still looks young. He looked even younger back then. I'm like, you know, he was like, I want to drive my little sister around. I was like, all right, cool. He, like, got a license because got to be 16 to drive these. He was like, nah, I don't. And his dad butts in. He's like, you don't know who this is? I looked at his dad. I looked at him. I was like, no, I don't know who this is. I was like, am I supposed to know who this is? Like, fuck.
He was about to get hands and feet.
He was like, this is YB and Cordae. I was like, oh, that's what's up. You got a license? I'm not about to lose. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm not about to lose my job letting you on this damn track without a damn license. But it's just, you know, had half his hair braided, half of it was out. Just looking
so
like
he's just on some hating shit because his voice is bad.
But
and his dad was about to put hands and feet on him.
Man, his dad is little as hell.
Well,
His dad is
okay.
I mean, this was sophomore year Tavium was bigger than his dad.
College sophomore year?
Yes.
Again?
Was bigger than his pops.
And your attitude wasn't the best around that time either.
No.
Actually, no, that it's not even not the best. That shit was
That was probably at
atrocity.
that was the peak of that as bad
Oh
as
my
it
God.
gets.
Yeah. I blame Kenny and myself and Reese for that too. Because I just felt like it's just something about that atmosphere that kind of.
Well, I think I was already like that, and y'all just were like amplifiers for the behaviors. Yeah, that was good times.
For sure. Shout out Coco Golf.
Yeah, I fought with Cordae though.
I do now.
too.
Actually,
I do
I do fuck with his music.
Yeah.
I just like plugging that story because it's just fun. It was just a funny interaction. I look back at that and be like,
He's fan out. You're a fan out just a little bit. That's okay.
I mean, it was fun. It was funny. 'Cause I had no idea who the fuck he was at the time.
And then,
And then a year,
a
I was about to say, then a year later, I see him performing at the fucking, Oscars or wherever the fuck he was at. Grammys.
You would have let him on. You wish you would have let him on that go-kart track.
I think he did end up getting on. He ended up finding a license and he actually got on, but
you would have moved a little bit faster.
No, I still would have made him show me his fucking ID. Just, because then I would have just power tripped.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. See, and then like it's just like niggas taking their job too serious, nigga. See,
Can't stand them type.
yeah, I was about to say,
but very fitting for.
I always get accused for being lazy. Now I take my job too serious. Pick a fucking side. Pick a fucking side.
Two things could be true.
Very true. Very true. Other Carolina Panthers news here, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all this isn't gonna be a long episode. It's not. Like we're damn near coming to a close already. I wish we would have gotten more OTA news this week or this past week. Just for a quick update on the timeline, and I want to make sure that I have official dates. But OTAs are officially over. Voluntary OTAs are officially over. and now we're heading into mandatory minicamp.
Pretty sure it's next week, right?
Yeah, this upcoming week. So this is why I'm looking for a date because I want to make sure that when they see this, we're we're on track. Let me see. Of course, I'm sure I'm not going to be able to find it. The Carolina Panthers will begin on April 21st and run through June 12th at various times. So yeah, long story short, I'm pretty sure that this is not even pretty sure. Okay, here we go. I got it. June 5th was the last day of voluntary OTAs, and June 10th through the 12th we have mandatory minicamp pending. So that is actually starting today. Once you guys hear this, the mandatory minicamp will either be going on or they will be heading onto the field at this point for mandatory minicamp. Last week, OTAs ended. I want to say there was only one day that the media was allowed in, so we didn't get a lot of reports. We didn't get a lot of videos. We didn't get a lot of There was not a lot of things that we got from voluntary OTAs last week, so not a lot of news for us to go over and touch because we don't know. We don't know what was going on and what happened. So that's why I said this episode is going to be relatively quick, just because there's not much news to cover. Now, I will say this. This was something else that was going on in the Panthers space as it pertains to the fan base and things of that nature. Now, how legitimate this is, I don't know. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell everybody that right now. Don't come over here, listen to what the conversation we're about to have, and run with it and say FPFO says shit. That's not what's happening. The only thing I'm doing is looking at a tweet, and for the sake of the conversation, we'll just say that this situation and scenario was a hypothetical. But as you guys know, if you didn't get an opportunity to see the blueprint last week when it released, the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Rams were in talks for a move at 8. Now, off of that, there was a hypothetical trade that was proposed that blew up within the Carolina Panthers space. I'm sure y'all have seen it. If y'all haven't, the details goes as follows. The Panthers would have received number 26 this year, number 90 this year, and a 2026 first rounder, and the Rams would have received number 8. So I want to come on this podcast and ask if you guys would have accepted that. So pretty much it was a 1 this year, a 3 next year, and a 1 this year, a 3 this year, and a 1 in 2026. That's the one that I have, and I think that, if I'm not mistaken, that was one that was being alleged. And then let me see if I can find another one, because I think there was another one that had more compensation that people were discussing as well. Let me see. This is not official. So a 1 this year, a 3 this year, and a 1 next year for 1-8 this year, which is what the Rams would have received in return. So I just want to know if y'all would have accepted that deal or not. Long story short.
Yeah, so you said a 1 pick swap this year.
Good job, man. Good job.
Pick swap this year, a 3, and then a 1 next year.
And a 4, right?
And a 4?
Yeah, I think they said it was a 4 too.
Was it 4? I thought it was a 4 too. The one from Thomas SeaWorld or whatever, that's the one I was going based off of. There was no 4 in that one.
No.
But I think that I did see a 4 this year as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what people were saying. They were like this, I'm just reading, but they're like this, those numbers are inaccurate. They said they was offered a swap, the ones, then the Rams, and then we get their 3rd and 4th this year, and then actually a 2nd round pick next year, but I don't know.
And not a 1st.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then absolutely not.
Yeah, long story short, me personally, I don't think I'm accepting either one of these deals.
No.
No matter what, it's just not enough. It's not enough for them to come up 18 places.
And then grab the guy that we want, and then make us scramble for something in the back half.
Now, there are reports of, yes, we talked about Tedero being the pick for the Rams last week. there are reports saying that the move could have potentially been for Loveland, the tight end. I don't know how true that is. It would have been a reach, but I've heard that as well. That stance as well.
Well, I mean, whoever they were coming up for, because Tet wasn't going to make it past 12 because he was very high on Dallas' board as well. So that was so he was going to be out of the picture at whatever point Carolina was drafting in the first round anyway. So I think for how highly that the team and the scouts and everybody seemed to have on Tet, and the big theme going into the draft was our guys, just going ahead and getting our guys instead of trying to get a little too cute, play these games that we've seen them play in the previous couple of seasons with their draft board. They were just like, we're going to stick to our board. We're going to draft the guys that we fall in love with. We're going to trust our own process. We're going to go after our guys, and we're going to build this thing the right way. And I think based off the two reports that we've seen, the various numbers, let me just say this, either one, whether it be the one for the 1, 3, 4, and the 2, or the one for the 1, 3, 1, however you want to dice it up, neither of those offers are good enough for passing up on a player like Teteroa McMillan, who we believe to be a generational type of talent. Like, mind you guys, I'm sure you Panthers fans are well aware of this, but Teteroa McMillan was one of the most highly touted players coming out of high school, was the highest recruited player to ever go to Arizona. And then when he got to Arizona, was clearly one of the only players on the team, was a heavy focus of defenses, and was still able to put up massive, massive numbers. You can say what you want about his speed. You can say what you want about his route running. But what you can't say is Teteroa McMillan is not a dog, and he's not a generational talent. And if you put that ball up in the air, it's better than a 50-50 chance that he's coming down with it. So for what you get in a guy like that and what was offered on the table, all you were going to be doing was throwing a bunch of darts at the board anyway. Why not throw a fat-ass dart instead of throw a bunch of little ones?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I wouldn't have taken it either because I think it just goes against, what this front office and coaching staff has, been trying to establish and kind of build a team off of. We talked about that camaraderie of, everybody being on the same page, everybody being on one accord, and they talked about it in the blueprint. So I think that, accepting a trade like that would have kind of threw that off. Because it seems like they were on Ted for a long time, and they pretty much knew that was going to be their guy throughout this whole process. So, no, I wouldn't have taken it, and I can only imagine, if we did, what we would have been getting at 26. I don't know if that would have necessarily made
it would have been nasty.
Yeah, I don't know if that necessarily would have made anybody here happy. And we talked about it, and you were saying this a lot, during the draft process. The rest of the guys in the back half of the draft, they're just guys. Or it's just it's a project. You don't know. You can make a case for picking any of them when you have those picks back there. But when it starts to get past, 10 picks, 10, 12 picks, you're picking really the people who are supposed to be the generational talents up in the top half of the draft. So we had a great spot. So I think we did a great job by staying there and not, falling for that shit. And the Rams keep trying to do this. So I don't understand.
Yeah, if you were going to accept any trade from the Rams, it should have been the one a couple years ago
With
for
Brian Burns. Yeah.
This wasn't the one to accept.
Which I was seeing that people were they think Dan Morgan would have
pulled the trigger on that.
Yeah.
100%. I think any competent GM would have pulled the trigger on that trade.
Shout out Scott Fitter.
Yo, Unc.
Yeah, to not make that trade and then to let the guy walk.
He's no longer a part of my family. Right now, it's only Uncle Steve Wilkes.
Give it a break, bro.
To be specific.
He's no longer a part of this fan base.
Yeah, but he's still my uncle, nigga. He's still a part of my family. Uncle Steve, Uncle EJ,
Cousin Cam,
Uncle Dan, Cousin Cam, and stepbrother Brent. Very simple, very easy, very easy. Nothing too much. Nothing too much.
Grandpa Tepper?
No. Not quite. We're not quite there yet. We're not quite there yet. No, not yet. Not yet. But I will say, I went back and watched the blueprint. Pat McAfee made a great point. There was a moment in time during that video, during the blueprint. They were in the war room. They were having their discussions. Brent, Dan, and Dave were having their discussions about a specific player and scenario and situation. They looked over at Dave like they were searching for answers. That nigga looked right back at him. Didn't say a word. Didn't say one word.
Yep.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Because I had to go back and look at it for myself. Because I thought initially he said something, but it was like, it had nothing to do with what the conversation was that they were having. It was just like, pretty much y'all figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, he stepped in when he needed to.
1,000%. 1,000%. And that has been the biggest thing and the biggest conversation. Like Pat McAfee mentioned this past week on his show, that has been the biggest knock on Dave Tepper is the fact that he was too hands-on and didn't allow football minds do football things.
Yep.
And it's abundantly clear at this point that he has taken a significant step back. I love it. I love it. That's all we've been asking for. That's all we've been asking for on FPFO for the past 3 years, right? That's it. That's it. But in that same breath, now it's almost like, you know what? Nigga, you might have been doing the right thing with the people that you had in place before, with Scott. You might have been. You might have been doing the right thing. So now almost all of the criticism and all of the slander that we've given Dave Tepper, I'll speak for myself, TBD. TBD. Because if we get it right, then I'm just going to say, you know what? It was just the fact that you were in the building with this nigga and you were making him have the meetings with you every Monday because you didn't know and you didn't trust what he had going on.
Right. Which is a very, very,
very
assessment.
valid.
Very valid.
Very, very valid. And the same was true for Matt Rule because he turned out to be a fuck off too.
Yeah.
Respectfully, of course. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Speaking of getting it right, I know you heard the comments of Dan Morgan saying that he thinks that we have the quarterback and the coach to win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Are you able to put a number on that? Like throw a number at the
Years?
wall? Yeah.
What do you mean? Could you elaborate a little bit?
Like how many years are you expecting?
So first and foremost, do I agree? Because I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I know you had said you had told me you agree at least, so I guess publicly you can say you agree.
Yes.
So, are you asking years to win a Super Bowl, or how many Super Bowls they will win together?
Well, let's go.
Let's
slow.
go slow. Let's go. I mean, because it's been 30+ years, and we don't.
So,
but I mean, for context purposes.
Yeah. So
good question.
Years to win a Super Bowl.
Okay. Perfect.
Because, I mean, at a certain point,
shit got to get moving.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you. Shit got to get moving. Everybody is abundantly clear on my stance, and if you're new here, let me just go ahead and say it again. The Panthers will win 10 or more games this year. That's number one. Number two, Week 18 is going to be for an NFC South championship. Now, if we win, lose, draw, whatever the case may be, then the chips will just fall how they may at that point. Fuck it. But we will make the playoffs. We're making the playoffs this year. That's a guarantee. Willing to bet my life on that. We're making the playoffs this year. We're going to win 10 or more games. Week 18 will be for a divisional title. So we're already on the right track. Now, that being said, years for Super Bowl. First and foremost, 100% agree with Dan Morgan in the fact that Dave Canales is a guy that can win the Super Bowl, has the potential to do so. I think he's made that clear. There were some questionable things going on during games last year, whatever the case may be, but he was a rookie head coach. And I will say this, the feeling that I get with Dave Canales after year one is a lot different than the feeling that I got with Matt Rule after year one. And Matt Rule had head coaching experience, albeit at the college level. So I agree with that. And I think just based on the last 10 games that we saw Bryce, based on the amount of confidence I see him maneuvering and moving around with now during this offseason, yes, I believe that he has what it takes to be a Super Bowl contending quarterback as well. All of that being said, if we're talking about a timeline, I'm going to say 4 to 5 years. 4 to 5 years max.
Are you giving is this technically going to be their first year?
Yes.
Just because
last year the window wasn't open last year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We still had too many foundational things out of whack. And we didn't know what this offensive line was going to look like. Worst defense in NFL history. So foundationally it was all fucked up. this year, officially year 3 of Bryce, year 2 of Dave, and his offense, coupled with the defense and the way you've revamped the defensive line, yes, this is year 1 of the Super Bowl window. And it's very dangerous because you got to maneuver and you got to get the shit done quick. And if you think that you don't have to get it done quick and you have more time than what I'm saying, I would just refer you to the San Francisco 49ers. I would just refer, their window was what, 4-5 years? Would y'all agree? Or am I off in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years because Brock, this is year 3 of Brock?
No, this is year
This is year 4 of
4.
Brock. So whenever Brock
year
took
4
over
of
that
Brock.
bitch, that's when that window was open.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say officially, in my opinion, their window is closed.
Even prior to Brock taking
Yeah,
it over,
I was about
'cause
to
they
say.
made the Super Bowl with
Yeah,
Garoppolo.
because they lost against
True.
Kansas City in the Super Bowl. So.
True. So what was that,
So
5
they
or
had,
6 years?
Yeah, they had a fat little window, and then
so
Brock
cool.
extended it.
Cool. So I will say their window lasted 5, maybe 6 years max. Would y'all agree? Am I off in that? Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, yeah, I'd say you're right.
Okay,
But
cool.
I think
So
it's different
open.
for Carolina. I'm going to push back a little bit. I'm going to say their window's a little shorter.
I'm willing to hear it.
I'm going to say it's 3 to 4 years. If you're not because and I say that because if we're expecting to see major improvements this year.
Yes.
You and I both expect them to be able to. I think that they could compete for a chip this year. It's not me saying I think they'll win a chip this year.
Okay.
But I think they will have the ability and talent and discipline to compete for a championship this year. Once you get in, you just need a chance. And I think the Panthers have that shot this year because they will be much improved. If we're going off of how Terrence thinks that they're going to be improved this year. We're all in agreement that they'll be improved, but Terrence thinks it'll be next year when they make that jump. We've just pushed the jump up a little bit higher.
Because they're still young. A lot of the foundational pieces are still young.
Right. Which is, I push back on that by saying a lot of the Eagles' foundational pieces last year were very young, and they did have experience.
They had some vets around
They
them,
did.
though.
So
We do too, though, I would argue.
the Panthers, exactly.
DB. With DB heading the defense.
Thielen.
JC. I mean,
JC.
we love swearing that JC is young, but this is what, year 6 for him? Year 5, year 6?
Yeah.
Right? So at this point, he's a vet. And then on the offensive side of the ball, you have your offensive line. Those are all vets at this point, even if you want to take Ikem out. And then you have Thielen. So,
Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah. But so next year is when we're all in agreement that the Super Bowl window is fully open. And then I give you another, you go again. If you don't win it next year, then you have another year to compete for it again. And you're going to have to improve. So if we're going to think that they're going to keep improving, once you've hit that, like, you're going to hit your head on a ceiling at some point if you don't bust through and get to that Super Bowl. And if you've ran into this issue for 3 consecutive years where you haven't been able to get into a Super Bowl, then you're going to have to start having the conversation about retooling at certain positions and starting to switch things up. And that's when you could lose the momentum, because now you're going to have to go back through, and JC will be at like year 8 at this point. DB will be at year like 9, 10 at this point. Like, these guys are going to be a lot older at the end of this Super Bowl window. Some of these guys, Bryce will still probably be in his prime. He'll be, he's a quarterback, so it'll be a little bit longer. XL will be a lot older. Tet will probably be in his prime still, but like, you're gonna have to start.
Chuba
retooling.
will be done.
Chuba will be
at
yeah.
that time.
Chuba
At that
will
point,
probably be gone.
Rico is gone after
Rico's
this season.
gone. Yeah, so
Jonathan Brooks TBD still. So
Taylor
that
Moton
offense
might
looks
be
completely different.
Taylor Moton might be retired at this point in time,
Or moved, because we don't even know if Taylor Moton will be a Panther after this season.
Right. So things start to switch a little bit. So I'm saying the window's even shorter. Like, as long as it's been to get to this point to even have a shot at opening the window, once that window is open, you have to go. You don't have time to fuck around. You don't have time to dick around. You have to capitalize on that, or things start switching. And as much credit as we just gave Tepper, if he's not starting to see results, he might get itchy and revert back to his ways and start trying to fire people. So
Facts.
I'm giving it a 3 to 4 year window.
Okay. The window is open this year.
The window's open this year.
So the window right now is not open for you. Officially, it's not open this year.
No, not for me at least.
Okay.
Because I don't think we're making the playoffs. One, and for the new listeners, how JJ went on his little spiel about making the playoffs, putting his life on it, all of that. I have a different approach. If you're not familiar with older videos, I have a different approach. I think that we'll be a much better team or a more improved team than last year. But like I said earlier, I still think that we're very young, not a lot of experience in the places that I think are going to be vital for us, particularly on the edge. I think our secondary is still dog shit. So little reasons like that, linebackers, TBD on them. Trevin Wallace, you know how we feel about him. So I think
and
that
if you don't, and you're new, mediocre.
Yeah, very
Go ahead,
mid,
continue.
very mid.
And that's us being nice.
Yeah, and so yeah, I think that we have a lot of holes that's still open, and that just kind of plug and play. Like we're about to have 2 rookies coming in that we expect. Well, at least I'll speak for myself, that I think can potentially have the chance of having starting jobs by the time the season is over, or even midway through the season. So there's still a lot of young talent around us and not a lot of experience. So I think we're going to win about 7 ball games. I might go up to 8 a little bit, just depending on, what training camp is looking like and things like that. But I just don't think we're going to be making the playoffs. So I say all that to say the window isn't open this year for me, but next year for sure.
Fair enough. And to be honest, I definitely respect where you're coming from in that regard, because even though we have this conversation, and even though me and Tavian have been extremely vocal, about the window being open and us feeling like this is the year where you kind of start kicking this little runoff, whatever the case may be, there are still some things left to be desired, specifically in that secondary room. Like we were having a conversation, myself as well as a couple of other content creators in this space, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to go all the way back throughout that group chat, but just know it gets very, very nasty outside of Mike Jackson. Shaw, cool, but then after that, bro, it gets nasty, bro. Like I'm not gonna hold you, even though again me and Tavian have said what we said. And I've been a little bit more rambunctious. Is that the correct word? Is that the right adjective to use?
I don't think so. Not in this context.
I think it is.
In the context that you're about to use it in, I don't
think it is.
So.
Rambunctious.
It's more like
yes, uncontrollably exuberant. Yes, okay. Boisterous.
Yeah.
Boisterous. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. All of that, I don't even know. I done lost my train of thought.
The cornerback room is ass.
Yeah. Long story short, that's what I was going to look up. Let's just go look at the Carolina Panthers depth chart right now. And I'm going to one side of the ball, and that's it.
And while you're doing that, I think the difference in our Super Bowl windows right now is kind of hanging on the fact that we think that they're going to be in the playoffs this year. And I'm under the belief that if you're in the playoffs, you have a shot to win the Super Bowl. And you don't think that they're making the playoffs this year, so your window's pushed back a little bit. That's like the biggest.
That's a significant difference. Yeah.
And then I would also ask you, both of y'all, if they only win 7 games this year, is that considered a failure in your mind?
Yes. In my mind, it is.
Being all of the things that I laid out, looking at it holistically.
In my mind, it is, because I think this offense is better than 7 wins.
Yes, I'm going to say it's a failure to me as well. And I know that you can't take shit year to year. And I know I've done that continuously on this podcast since we've been back for season 5. You can't take things year to year, but at the same time, it's very, very difficult for me not to. I believe that I can find 7 or 8 ball games that the Carolina Panthers should have won last year. Outside of the 5 they won, I believe I can find 2 to 3 more that they should have won. There's no way, with all of the adjustments that you made this year, with all of the bodies that you return, there's no way that you can't win 2 more ball games than what you did last year. I just don't see it being realistic. And to be honest, your schedule is not that difficult, bro.
No.
Like you have like a top 5 or top 6 easiest schedule.
And they showed their hand. The Panthers showed their hand last season when they competed with the Chiefs and the Eagles the way that they did.
Yes.
Those were 2 of the best teams in the league, and you should have beat both of them.
Yes.
They showed their hand. So there's no more, like, this whole, like, letting them figure it out, get it. No, y'all got it.
It's over with.
It's over with. You know what to do. You've seen it. You've got it up close and personal, and you should have been able to finish. Now, you learn from that, and you improve on that. Because if you're not improving on that, then you're not the right people for the job.
Agreed. Taking a look at this secondary, because it's nasty. It's one injury away from niggas getting cock put in them. Nothing
So
short,
if
nothing
that's
less.
the case, then I don't understand
The
why.
niggas just got to stay healthy.
I don't. Yeah, but we
Stay
know
healthy and
you,
pray
You
we
know
get some
how
motion during the summer.
You know how unlikely that is, though. That's why I don't understand how you can say that, like, confidently say, you know, the Super Bowl window is open this year and things of that sort. When you're basing all of that on everybody staying healthy, that shit barely ever happens within a football season.
I agree.
It's just
That's a valid point. What I'm
and
basically
God forbid that injury comes from somebody like a J.C. Horn. God forbid. I mean, we might be able to. No, the fuck he doesn't. We might be able to stomach it if Mike gets hurt. We might be able to stomach it. But if J.C. gets hurt, Trayvon Merrick,
I don't think we can.
If he gets hurt,
I don't think we can stomach.
It's over.
I don't think we can stomach either one of them getting hurt right now. As this roster stands and this depth chart stands right now, I don't think we can stomach either one of them. I'm going based off the assumption that we're gonna make additions. You're forgetting that Mike Jackson came in and was a starter for 14 plus ball games, and then nigga got to us after training camp concluded for a fucking 7th round pick. So yeah, that's why I'm going off of that assumption, because I still think that we're going to be active.
And Ramsey's still out there.
And Ramsey is still out there, and I'm still holding out hope. Now, I did see Carolina Blitz Vashta said this past week, y'all can give the Ramsey talk a break. So I don't know if she knows something that we don't, because that tweet did come out and it's still up. So, it wasn't a tweet and delete. So I'm assuming that she has a little bit more information than we do in that regard. But Julian is still out there. And I haven't heard anybody kill that. Now, have the rumors and whispers died down significantly? Absolutely, because he came and visited. Nothing was signed. We let him walk out the door. That being said, we know how some of these veteran niggas be as it pertains to summer activities. And a lot of them don't be trying to do it. Yeah. A lot of them don't be trying to do it. And he's one of those ones that's nice enough where, nigga, if you want to fuck off during the summer and you don't want to sign your contract until a little bit later on in July, August, I'm fine with it. Me personally. But outside of Mike and JC, we just got to pray it doesn't happen. Shamar Bartholomew. Shamar Bartholomew and a Caleb Evans. Lord have mercy. Yeah, hey, Mike.
And y'all still don't want to change y'all number.
No,
and nobody
not.
wants to change. Okay,
absolutely
cool.
not.
Cool.
We just paid JC.
That's nasty. That is nasty, bro.
I'm really my confidence though is not. I promise you, it's not coming from this defense.
It's not,
because I think EJ is a fucking.
Go slow, nigga. Go slow.
My thoughts on Ejiro Evero are very, very detailed and laid out in previous videos. If you want to know my stance on that, I don't like him. I think he should have been fucking fired last year. He's not a good coach. My confidence isn't coming from...
Stop saying that.
He's not a good coach. My confidence isn't coming from the defensive side of the ball. My confidence wholeheartedly is coming from the inspiration behind our beautiful Reaper t-shirts. And that's Bryce Young.
Yeah.
I think Bryce Young is one of them ones. And I think if the offense does what it has the potential to do, which is control and dictate the pace of these games, I feel like you can supplement having a subpar defense with a dominant ball controlling offense.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but
wholeheartedly. Because if you run the ball 25 to 30 times a game, it ain't gonna be a lot of time where your defense is on the field.
You shorten that.
And with Chuba Hubbard and Rico, you damn near shouldn't be rushing the ball no less than 25 times.
I'm still under the belief that defense wins championships, a la what the Eagles did to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So I just don't think that, and it's hard for me to sit here and like visualize teams that make deep runs in the playoffs that doesn't have a good defense.
Washington.
At least way better than the fucking Panthers.
Washington.
Their defense is better than ours.
Their cornerbacks aren't.
I was about to say their cornerbacks were dog shit last
year.
year.
They had to trade for Marshawn Lattimore halfway through the season, and he didn't even play.
He didn't play, and when he did play, he got cock in him.
Yeah, and their first-round pick from a couple years ago, they let him walk.
Yeah.
And
their secondary is not that much better than
their
ours.
number one cornerback last year was Noah Igbignogany, And Noah Igbenogany is somebody that the Cowboys had traded for with Dan Quinn, was the DC, for like a 6th or 7th round pick, and couldn't get no burnout there. And then went to DC and became their number 1 and was okay for a couple weeks, and then started getting cock put in him when people realized that he was sweet.
I would just have to go look up the statistics on their defense. It
was mediocre.
I just don't
Their
think
defense was not that good.
Yeah, their defense was mediocre. Like, it really was. Their defense was like middle of the pack.
They had a very fucking light schedule. Like, that's what people like. Washington had a very light schedule last year.
And then and then when it was time, like Tavian said, the only thing you need is a chance to dance. And it was time to dance. Them niggas got blessed against Tampa Bay. They walked in Detroit and let they cock drag.
Against the beat-up Detroit team who had no...
Yes.
Now, you want to talk about injuries, who had nobody left on that team.
And put up... How many... They put up 40-plus on them niggas.
Something ridiculous,
Yeah. So, yeah, bro. I'm just not... I'm just not going to jump out the window and say that, you know, just because we're one injury away, secondary-wise...
Nasty.
Secondary-wise...
You forget our linebackers are ass. Trevor Wallace is ass. The only person that you have there is Josie Jewell.
We don't know what Rose Booth is going to be. Rosenboom, Christian Rosenboom. We don't know what he's going to be. We don't know what he's going to be. Did they celebrate when he got clipped? Yes. Did that give me cause for pause, and does it still do the same thing? Absolutely. Absolutely. But we don't know.
We're shitting on Trevin, but he's going into year 2. Like,
and Dan Morgan sucks his dick. So
Yeah, but
I'm not going to lie, bro. Like, Dan can't keep giving him head and me just keep, like, slandering his name. He must see something. There must be something.
What
there.
did you see?
Can he develop though? Can we give him time to develop? He's coming from he's coming out. He came from Kentucky, right?
Yeah, I mean that's
Kentucky. Kentucky's not a program that's been known to pump out excellent players. Like let's let the coaches that are on this staff continue to put their hands around him, and let's see some improvement. He's got the physical traits. Like, he has all the tools in the toolbox. Trevor Wallace physically is a specimen.
I would feel better if he was developing and it was more so of a plug and play, or you're in here and there, like subbing in and out here and there.
You know how you can make that
happen?
But
as the main...
You know how you can make that situation happen? Go get Shaq back.
Give it a break, bro.
Oh, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what the people say, what the comments say. That's just what I'm just telling you what the comments say.
And like I told them, the nigga has no value for us.
Well, and Shaq is one of those older players that can be signed closer to training camp, and it'll be just
or
fine.
even after training camp.
Whatever you want to do.
Your body has broken down the last 2 or 3 years in a row significantly. You don't even have to be at training camp. For me, if you're Shaq Thompson, you don't even have to fucking be there. Only thing I need to make sure you're doing is staying in shape, condition-wise. And if you need to feel a couple of bumps, you know what I'm saying, you need to feel a couple of wrap-ups and thuds, then cool, nigga. You can come out for 2 or 3 days during training camp, and we'll put you on the injury report for the rest of the time, right? You're still recovering from your surgery. That's no issue, no problem at all. No issue, no problem at all, nigga.
Yeah, for a vet minimum contract, I wouldn't mind bringing Shaq back.
You give that nigga fucking $2.3 million for 1 year, and everything will be A-okay. So then Trevin King, like you said, come in, come out, do whatever needs to happen. And again, I'm not going to just, I slander his name when we first signed him, but I'm going to see what Rosemoon does first. And Josie had a very, very productive year last year. He did.
Yes,
so,
I that doesn't make me feel very comfortable.
Well, do you feel comfortable about the fucking D-line, yes or no?
Yes, I feel comfortable about them. But
and nigga, they're about to slide.
I hope
they're about to slide.
I hope
they're about to slide. I'm telling you, something that I know.
Okay,
something that I know. We just need DJ healthy, not 52.
My thing is, I'm usually right. I'm usually right in most of these situations when the end of the season comes. So we'll see. I don't want to be right.
I'm going to tell you this. The Carolina Panthers make the playoffs and potentially win a playoff game if they have a top 20 defense or better. That's all it's going to take. That's all it's going to take, because I'm almost under the belief that we might be hanging fucking 30-plus on niggas' heads week in and week out. I'm almost willing to go on record and say that, but I'm going to go slow because it's June.
Yeah, because that would mean you're like the number 1 offense in the league. Kind of fucking.
Or I just need to go slow. I need to slow down.
Especially when you got a fucking question mark on the outside.
Let's start at top 10.
Who the fuck is a question mark?
XO.
If the motherfucker, if he can't get it done, bitch, move around. Move around and put Jimmy, put Adam, put Hunter, Jalen. Nigga, I'm telling you.
Go slow.
All right. Okay. Go slow.
The Panthers will have a top 10 offense. Top 20.
Okay. Top 10 top 10 offense, top 20 defense. That gets you playoff. No, not top 25. I don't understand. Matter of fact, let me not even let y'all get me
You
hot,
already
bro.
said 15, right? Didn't you say
yeah,
that?
he
Ain't
got-
that
he
the
got
bet
top
you
15.
made? So
Yeah,
why
yeah.
you going back to fucking 20? You shouldn't even be starting at 20.
Because top 20 just gets us where. Top 15, we might win the whole bitch. Top 15, we might win the whole bitch, bro. You not understand. See, you not, and see, this is what I need our supporters that watch this show week in and week out to understand. This nigga is a little pessimistic sometimes. He's a little pessimistic.
More times than
sometimes.
not, does it turn out to be right?
More times than right, yeah. More times than not, yeah. But nigga, that's not what we trying to hear this year. We not. This is not years past, nigga. This is not years past. We on different timing and energy this year. It's different. It hit different. I'm telling you.
Like I said, it will make my life a lot better. It will make the pod a lot better. It will make the fans feel a lot better if all of the shit you saying comes to fruition and it happens. But I'm just here to let you know, slow down.
Okay.
Go a little slow.
All right, I'm going slow, bro. Because if I wasn't,
there's a very high chance that shit just doesn't happen.
okay. But let me tell you this, nigga. If I wasn't going slow, then I would come in this bitch every week and say that we're gonna win 12 or more games.
You want to say that anyway.
No, you're right, but I've been extremely responsible with my platform and with what we've built to not do that. But you're absolutely right. I do want to say that we're gonna win 12 of them bitches this year. I do. Because them games that I'm counting as losses, the Cowboys, the Bills, this and that, etc. Yeah, nigga, unfortunately, them niggas can get left on a fucking T-shirt too.
Go slow.
No, nigga, fuck what he talking about. Fuck what he talking about. If this nigga just said the Chiefs and the Eagles should have been clipped last year, and they both made it to the Super Bowl, I'm supposed to just say, oh, a weaker team is just gonna come in here and fuck us in the ass? That's what I'm just supposed to. Man, hell no, nigga. We might win 17 of them bitches, but then that's when I'm gonna really go slow. Yeah, that's sure.
I'm sorry, y'all. I had to mute him. I had to cut his mic off because shit was just getting a little bit out of control over here on set.
Sure, cool. I'm just telling y'all something that I just feel, nigga, because when we start that bitch off 3-0, 4-0, and I'm going to tell you this, too. If we started off 3-0 or 4-0, don't get on the bandwagon, nigga. You said 7 games, so cool. Stand on that. So we win 4 in the first fucking month. This nigga is telling y'all that we're only going to win 3 for the remainder of the whole fucking 2, 3, 4 months left in the season.
Now, that would be a disappointment.
Well, you didn't think that we were only going to
That
win
would
2.
be.
You didn't think we were only going to win 2 games last year. I think
2
you had
years
us
ago?
at 11. I mean, 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was just
He
misplaced.
had y'all at 10.
That was misplaced. Yeah,
He's
2
had y'all
years
at
ago.
10 wins for like the last 4.
No, nigga. 2 years. Last 2 years. Last 2 years. That was misplaced.
I remember making bets with you at Copper about them winning 10 games.
Yeah, that 10 games has been extremely elusive. Extremely elusive. But yeah, I didn't even mean for us to go all the way there, but cool. I'm glad we did. It added more time to the pod. Sure, it was more enjoyable. Long story short, if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn the bell notification on. And if you've done that already, make sure to go enter the giveaway. We're up past 1,000 entries at this point, so we're very, very excited about that. And yeah, let me see. Okay, that's what I'm doing. My apologies. Okay, if you're new to the show, this is the portion of the show where we give our bets for the week. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Juice for short. I'm going to go ahead and go first. Indiana Pacers. This is a plus 1030, I believe. This is a plus 1030.
But they're not even going to see this, are they?
No,
Well,
they
the
are.
games will be over.
The games will be over, yeah, but trust me when I tell you, my bet doesn't require that. Plus 1030. If you want to get paid and you want to get some money, bro, and you have heart, take this and put $30 fucking on it if you can afford it. Indiana Pacers, exact series win, 4-3. Pacers in 7. I don't want to have a long discussion about it. Sometimes teams are just built different, and the Indiana Pacers have shown me that. Now, again, we're recording on Sunday. This is before Game 2. I genuinely believe that OKC is going to leave them niggas on a T-shirt in Game 2, but do not fret because we're heading back to Indiana very, 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 very soon. And the series has already begun because the Pacers have already won Game 1 on the road. Give me the Pacers to win the series exact 4-3, a.k.a. Pacers in 7. Pacers in 7. Lock it in.
I do not have a juice ticket for y'all this week. I apologize due to the day that we are recording on. The apps that I tend to place my wagers with aren't extending out to our release date for this particular episode. So I will be sitting this week of juice out.
Okay, fair enough. Dylan sent me his ticket. It is a plus 863. He has, this is on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday. 2 money lines, very simple, very easy. Chicago Fire against Nashville and Charlotte FC against Philly. 2 money lines, Chicago Fire and Charlotte FC. Very, 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 very simple and very doable.
My juice ticket is going to be some BS, bro. Just because it's like, I mean, it's just nasty work.
Let's hear it. It can't be that
All right.
bad.
No, it's just because, like, I can
It's
only
so
do
far
Monday
out.
stuff. Yeah, so all of this is going to be for Monday, so y'all not going to see it anyway. But either way, I got the Oilers covering 1.5 goals against the Panthers on Monday. I have the Diamondbacks beating the Mariners. I don't know why I'm putting them on here. I have the Braves beating the Brewers. And then I have Boston beating the Tampa Bay Rays.
When is that?
All
for?
of these are Monday.
Oh, so they won't even be able to put this shit in.
Yeah. I mean,
But it's for us then.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
for
we'll
us.
take it. We'll accept it. Just send
So
it.
we can do that.
Send a screenshot and send it. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. Well, let me get the building then.
Yeah. Did the Pacers surprise you? You're an NBA guy. Well, actually, both of y'all are. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna say this too. When the Greek freak lands in the 6. What? Never mind. How did you feel about Game 1? Guess we can just talk about that for a second.
OKC, it's not even about the Pacers surprising me. It's just really about OKC went away from what they've been doing all season. I don't know why Hartenstein didn't start the game. They were trying to play small ball. I don't know why. They let the Pacers stick around. Like the game never really felt like it was out of hand, but it also never felt like Indiana had a chance because like the Pacers or the OKC would keep them at 10, 12.
15.
Yeah. And but I mean at the end of the game, I mean the Pacers just went on a little run and that was pretty much it.
They literally led the game for 0.3 of a second.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
0.3 of a
insane.
second, and they won the game. They stole Game 1. That's they're different to me, bro. They're different. Like I thought they were sweet. I literally thought they were sweet the whole season. Thought
Very
they were
resilient.
sweet round 1. Thought they were sweet round 2. But after they did what they did to the Knicks,
Very resilient.
They
team.
just have a deep team. Like
it's
that.
deep as fuck, bro. And sometimes that's what you need.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I was telling Yak the other day, the shit to me feels like 2019 Toronto. Like you got your star,
Yep.
and really they're in a better position than Toronto was, in my opinion, because they have 2. They have Halliburton and they got Pascal. In my opinion, Toronto had Kawhi, and yeah, Fred was great. Kyle Lowry was great, and they had Pascal. But nigga, that was young Pascal.
Yeah.
That was Pascal only been playing basketball for 3 years, 4 years. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But they are extremely deep, and the way their team is built it feels very, very similar to 2019.
And Rick Carlisle is a hell of a coach. Like,
Hell
he's
of a
been
coach.
doing this shit for a minute.
Yes, sir. Hell of a coach. Phenomenal coach. And that's why they even beat the Knicks, was because Tibbs is a fuck off. And that's exactly why they got his ass up out of there. Go ahead with your juice ticket, and then we'll pause.
Yeah, so really quickly here, my juice ticket. Y'all won't be able to see this, but y'all can just check it and watch how I ram this shit. Boston Red Sox money line against the Rays on Monday. Got the Atlanta Braves money line against the Brewers on Monday. Got the Diamondbacks money line against the Mariners on Monday, and I've got the Philadelphia Phillies money line against the Chicago Cubs, all on Monday plus 640.
So the nigga just took my ticket. Just took the
Was that your
Oilers
ticket?
off
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't listening to your ticket because I started making my own.
without the Oilers.
Oh, well, I mean that's about all we could do, really.
Fair point. Did you pause it yet? Okay. I mean, you don't really. Yeah, just go ahead and get the battery just so we can finish this thing off. I don't know if you guys have a 2-minute or not this week. I don't think that I personally do. Okay, Tavian nodded his head. Do you have a 2-minute? Not really. Okay. Well, we might just give 6 whole rant minutes to Tavian, because I don't think I have one this week either. I just want to let everybody know, if you're new here, this week is a lot, like, very much, very, very unorthodox is what I should say. Usually we have our fan blitz where we open it up and allow fans to send in questions, allow supporters to send in questions that they would like us to answer on the podcast. That's typically how we close our episodes out, as well as a 2-minute warning where we just take 2 minutes completely uninterrupted. Everybody on the cast gets 2 minutes to just go on a little 2-minute rant to discuss whatever they feel or deem necessary for the time. So we will let Tavian close us out with his 2-minute warning, because, again, we are recording on Sunday. And then next week we'll make sure that we're back on track with our structure and everything that we have with Fan Blitz and all of that. That being said, we have new merch that we are working on. I just want to go ahead and throw that out there right now. We have new merch that we're working on. Very, very excited for some of the new things that we have coming up. I mean, after the reception to the Reaper tees, it's going to be hard to top that, I will say. It's going to be hard to top that, but can't wait to get outside and get to moving some shit. That's all I'll say. But we got a lot of big things coming up, so if you haven't already, make sure to connect with us on social media. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn that bell notification on so you can stay up to date with everything that we have going on at the G2S Network, as well as an individual podcast for Panthers fans only. And if you haven't already and you just did it, shout out to you. We greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Tavian.
Yep.
You're up, buddy.
Thank you. So this week, I don't know if y'all are very familiar, but I started watching a show called Love Island.
Bruh, don't say too much, bro.
Relax, bro. Relax. You'll see where I'm going with
Yulissa?
this in just a second.
Yulissa?
She's tough.
I mean, I don't know what
Tough
she looks
and
like.
gone.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
She
just know
was
they,
tough.
I just know they
she
pat her ass
got
up.
the boot. She got the boot. But that was a strange one. She was tough though. But no, I started watching this show called Love Island, and it's such a good show, man. I was like shitting on it right before I started watching it, and then a group of my friends convinced me to watch it with them, and then next thing I know, I'm at the edge of my seat biting my damn fingernails, waiting to see the juicy shit go on next. So very entertaining. And I say all that to say I chose to watch Love Island over the NBA Finals the other night because I don't like what the NBA is turning into. This is probably one of the most, I know the game ended up being very good, and I know we just talked about basketball and everything like that, but when I sat here and I was in my house and I like came home after the gym, Terrence was sitting here watching the game, I looked at the TV and I was like, it just looks like a regular season game. It feels like a regular season game. It doesn't have the NBA doesn't have the same draw to me nowadays as it did when I was growing up. And the simple fact that I chose to watch a fucking reality TV show about a bunch of fuck-offs fucking around on an island over the NBA Finals. The NBA, this past NBA Finals for Game 1 was the lowest rated NBA Finals damn near in history. Nobody watched it. It's the product that the NBA has turned into is fucking putrid. Basketball is a sport that I grew up playing. I love basketball. I loved everything about the game of basketball. And what I've watched it turn into is just, it pisses me off. It makes me extremely angry. I don't like the product of the NBA. I don't like the attitude of these players. Like, it's just not what basketball is supposed to be. Now that's not saying that the game ended up being very entertaining in the last, fourth quarter and everything like that. But it's just not, the product isn't there. And Adam Silver had the nerve to get up on national TV and compare it to small market teams. Like, it was like, if this was the NFL and 2 small market teams made it to the finals, y'all would be celebrating this. And then use the example of the Pittsburgh Steelers playing the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl as his example of 2 small market teams. Like, those aren't 2 of the most storied franchises in the NFL with fan bases that spread across the entire fucking country and around the fucking world. Which just tells me, like, Adam Silver is a fuck off, and he's completely fucked the product of the NBA. And I hate watching basketball. There's nobody, like, I don't feel myself super compelled to get behind any one team, any one organization. I hate the way that the fucking draft lottery is done. I hate the way that these players have so much power and can just wiggle their way out of anything. You can't really build any sustainable success. Like, it's just fucking nasty. It's just fucking nasty, and I'm very disappointed to what the NBA has turned into. And I know I went a little bit over, but that's my fucking 2-minute rant.
Oh, no worries. No worries. I think everything that you said is relatively valid. Not even relatively. I would say everything is valid, but I think that Adam Silver potentially fucked it off, and I think he's about to fix it with the new CBA that'll be in place, as well as the second apron. Did you guys ever look into that shit? When we talked about it, look into the new CBA and the second apron. That shit is gonna fix a lot. Them stars is gonna be spread around. It's gonna be a lot more. Trust me when I tell you, it's gonna be a lot more competitive. Just wait. Just give it time. The NBA will get back right.
I hope so, because I can't stand it.
You have to also take into account, like, just to play devil's advocate, because overwhelming majority of what you said I agree with. But to play devil's advocate, you have to understand that for 1 year older now, so you're not even looking at these niggas the same way you were looking at them when you were younger, because you were looking up to them niggas, and now they're just niggas, like, they're just regular human beings. So that's number 1. Number 2, it's a changing of the guard. So when we sit up here and we have the conversation about LeBron being done, right, and then Steph Curry getting hurt and, a huge moment in the NBA playoffs, and Kevin Durant no longer being as relevant as before, and all of these names that we, have grown accustomed to love and carry in the league, those names ain't as prevalent, right? So now it's SGA and Ant and, Jalen Brunson, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, it's just a little different. The changing of the guard, what I will say is, as an NBA fan and a basketball fan myself, is be patient. It's been tough.
Definitely not how it used to be. But
no, it's definitely not. It's definitely not. And I don't know if it'll ever get back to that place.
Yeah.
But I can tell you how to fix that. Let niggas fight again. Let niggas crash something. Because a lot of these niggas be chatting like they tough.
Or, because I feel like a lot of times they just don't be playing or be playing like bullshit.
Yes.
So it's like, you sit out a game, okay, you don't get paid. Cool.
That too.
Yeah.
Unless you're injured.
And
it's a proven injury.
Yes. But you sit out, don't get paid. Cool.
The NBA product is so diluted, man. I mean, college basketball is 1,000 times more entertaining.
I think that I agree with both of those statements. I think I agree with both of those statements, to be honest. It is. But I mean, what can you do? What are you going to do about it?
You can use your platform and complain for 2 minutes like I just did.
Or 4. Or 5, whatever. But no, I feel it. But I do not agree with you about the final. I think that if you got into it, because how many playoff games have you watched? How many NBA playoff games have you watched this year? Approximately.
And I think another issue is, like, I've watched a lot more of the West Coast finals than I did the East Coast, but they start so fucking late. It's just hard to watch them all the way through because they're on such a different time zone when they start these games. And the product in the East,
mid, especially when Tatum goes down.
Yeah, and then I was hoping, ideally, what I thought could have saved it for me would have been watching Ant and Cat go head to head in the finals as former teammates.
Yeah.
You know, each respectively making trades and everybody arguing, was it a good trade, was it not? Now they're both in the finals, and we can duke it out and see who's really about it.
Yeah.
That would have been very entertaining. But instead, I got to watch SGA going and grabbing people's arms as he goes up to
Yeah, that shit is disgusting.
do a fucking foul. And I got to watch Tyrese, who respectively, like, I love Tyrese's game until he shoots.
He's a mark.
I hate his shot. His shot is...
He's a mark.
Outside of him losing us bread, he's a killer.
But he is. No, Tyrese is a dog. I
Outside
love
of
his
all
game.
the negative shit that you could say about him, like if we're just having an honest conversation, he's gonna be an issue for a lot of niggas going down the line.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I
he's
love
gonna be a
Tyrese's
thorn
game.
in the side to a lot of people. Like they want to build up SGA and Tatum and all these other niggas to be the new face of the league, and that's A-OK.
It's like a new Magic Johnson. He's a 6'8" guard that
Yeah.
can fucking pass and
Yeah, he
can
distributes.
also shoot too.
He's a
Shot's just
true
ugly,
point
but he
guard.
can shoot.
Shot is disgusting.
Tyrese, in my opinion, is a true point guard. The way he takes that shit over in the fourth. If y'all go back, if y'all want to see something very, very magical and beautiful, you go back and watch that damn closeout game. The fourth quarter of that closeout game against the Knicks, that bitch there put on a show.
Yeah.
He's a killer, bro.
Yeah, he's
and,
good.
And I've shit on him multiple times, but he's a killer. He's already, I think, like for game winners, he's already on the top list as it pertains to the playoffs. King James, Jordan, Tyrese.
Stephen
And
A.
I don't
Smith
know
said
where
he's-
Bean is at. I don't know where Bean is at, but I don't
Stephen A.
think he's on
Smith
the
said
list.
he's not a superstar.
And that may be okay. That may be all right. But what he can't deny is that he's a star.
I mean,
And when you have two stars like a Halliburton and a Pascal, shit just starts happening like you clipping niggas on the road for a 67-win ball club in a very, very, very hostile playoff environment. Game winning the NBA Finals. And we all know that Stephen A. be on hating shit.
yeah.
He's a little salty right now. But, I mean, how can you deny it after he put cock in your team? He put cock in them. And there was nothing that they could do. Between him and Pascal, and I will say, all of this being said, and this is not a basketball podcast, but we are wrapping this shit up. I will say, outside of that, that team go as Pascal go.
100%.
That team go as Pascal go. And the issue is, and why I have the Pacers winning this shit in 7, is because Pascal shot 7 of 15 from the field the other day, only took 2 threes and only made 1. But it was very, 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 very quiet. Very, very quiet. Him and Tyrese both.
Tyrese only had 14 points.
Yeah, both of them. Game 1 played extremely, extremely, extremely mediocre. And that, if I'm a Thunders fan, is extremely alarming. They're going to get gassed up because they're going to win tonight. OKC is going to win tonight. They're not going down 0-2 at home.
I think OKC is going to blow him out tonight.
I think OKC is going to beat them by 20 or more. I think that's what's going to occur. But if I'm a Thunder fan, I do not allow that to blind the vision that I had game 1, that this team ain't sweet and that they could potentially dick us. And you want to experiment with Hartstein, taking them out, just dumb shit. These niggas can't coach, bro. They can't coach. They be trying to get too cute and do too much. But I guarantee you he'll be back in that starting lineup tonight.
Yeah,
I guarantee you that.
There's no reason to take him out. Like, I'm not going to, like, they got to match me. I'm not going down to play on their level. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm the heavily favored team. I've been blowing everybody out. It's like, no, you got to match. You got to match my play. I'm not going down to match yours. Just
100%.
stupid.
I just can't do it. Let me see something real quick. Because when I looked a second ago, I think it was 11 points. Let me confirm that real quick. 11 points. I think they cover that. I think they cover 11 easy. They might beat these niggas by 25 tonight. Game 2, I think they might win by 25. But it ain't going to change shit. Because they got to go back to Indiana. And they going to be rocking. Give me the Pacers in 7, man.
OKC in 6.
OKC in 6. You want to do something for the people? Just for the plot. We don't got to bet on the exact game amount, but I got the Pacers winning this series. Okay, 30. That's easy. That's nothing to you, for sure. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Excuse me. Turn the bell notification on, and we will be back next Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time with our world premiere. Talk to you guys soon, man. Thank you again.
so good, I should have to